we are doing this flight at the end of the Bonanzas to Oshkosh, Florida Formation Clinic weekend. And the guy in the King Air goes, hey,
don't you have a YouTube channel?
and I said, well, yes, I do have a YouTube channel. I do indeed. Do you watch it?
Indeed. That would be a Troy fanboy. Fangirling.
When I put the gear lever in the up position, the gear doesn't go up.
Go gear up.
Pull the breaker for me.
Oh, your foot's either stepped down again.
Pull the breaker for me.
Breaker's pulled.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. We'll see if I can troubleshoot it here. You can't very well fly formation with your gear down like that.
We're going to give that airplane that nickname, you know.
Yeah, just don't give me the nickname. Later on that day, as I was preparing to head back to Tallahassee, and what happens right on cue? The gear goes up.
Bib up!
Well, welcome aboard Bonanza 117 Echo Charlie, everybody. Today we're here at Quincy Municipal, just topped off the old fuel tanks with $4.05 avgas. And we are headed today to Fort Lauderdale Executive to pick up the owner and his family. They had an enjoyable weekend in South Florida, and I've had an enjoyable weekend at the Florida Bonanzas to Oshkosh Formation Clinic, and I'll tell you all about that. I hopped back over here to Quincy to get some cheap avgas and wait out the weather. We've had a frontal system that has been stalled over the region for about 2 days now, and it has created a mesoscale convective system, an MCS, which means a whole lot of thunderstorms. And they hit the I-4 corridor pretty bad yesterday at about this time, late afternoon. They hit the Tallahassee area here pretty bad early morning this morning. And then there was another round of very intense thunderstorms and strong wind conditions. I mean, we're talking about gusting up to 60 knots in some cases that hit the I-4 corridor again today. And so I've been monitoring that weather, and it is slowly heading now southeast. And the TAF at Fort Lauderdale exec says light rain and marginal VFR ceiling beginning at 8 p.m. So we're about 5 minutes to 6 p.m. right now. And it's about a 2-hour flight, and I'm thinking that we'll be okay by the time we get in. But there is some weather I'm looking at to the west of Tampa. Might be able to see it right there. And it came out of nowhere, due in no small part to the nature of these mesoscale convective systems. They feed on moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. So it flows toward the boundary, the frontal boundary, and acts in concert with it to create, you know, basically some pretty damaging squall line type conditions. And this has been going on now for 2 days. So I'm fairly optimistic that we'll be able to deviate around that weather that popped up west of Tampa and make our way into Fort Lauderdale. But pretty sure we're going to have to do some deviations on this flight. But no worries, give us more time to talk about the Formation Flying Clinic. So welcome aboard 117 Echo Charlie, off we go. Our route of flight down to Fort Lauderdale today, by the way, is going to be 2J9 Lakeland Victor 511 newer, with I'm sure many deviations in between. And typically ATC will give you at least one reroute when you fly this far. You know, you switch over to Miami Center, and they've got all kinds of ideas that had not been communicated to you when you got your initial clearance. But such is life when you fly here in the Sunshine State.
Question traffic, Decathlon 396 Alpha Charlie. We're about 1.5 miles west over town. We'll be entering a right downwind for runway 14 Quincy.
That would be Ashley May, folks, with his son Jesse, flying his Super Decathlon. And one of these days, we are going to do a YouTube video in the Super Decathlon doing some aerobatics, of which, you know, I know very little about. I took spin training when I got my CFI, and that was the extent of my aerobatic training, but I'd love to go up with Ashley one of these days. We'll make a video about it, I promise. Quincy Drive, Bonanza 7 Echo Charlie, departing 14 Grass will be a straight out departure to the south, Quincy.
Quincy Drive, Decathlon 6 Alpha Charlie, clear of all runways. Have a safe flight, 7 Echo Charlie.
See you, Jess.
Catch up at Sun and Fun.
See you Friday. All right, we're out of here. Airspeed's alive, instruments are in the green. Here's Gemini. And here come the flaps. Cialis approach Bonanza 117 Echo Charlie just off Quincy, 1,000 feet. IFR to Fort Lauderdale Executive looking to pick up a clearance.
Number 117 Echo Charlie, maintain VFR squawk 3040.
3040, 7 Echo Charlie.
Number 117 Echo Charlie, radar contact, climb and maintain 10,000, cleared Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport via as filed. When able, proceed direct Lakeland.
Up to 10,000, clear to the Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport via as filed and direct Lakeland, 7 Echo Charlie.
And number 7 Echo Charlie, expect 1,000 in 10 minutes.
We'll expect it, 7 Echo Charlie. So here we are on top at about 3,600 bases in this case. We're about 1,700 feet. That was a fairly thick cloud layer we just went through. Broke into overcast. And I promise you that will not be the only weather we see during this flight, because if you look at the ADS-B weather, we can see pretty much what we saw on the ground. And it's a fair amount of convective activity to the west of Tampa. And there's a area of moderate to extreme precip that it looks like one would be able to deviate around. And that, you know, it may or may not intensify.
Number 738 Charlie November, unable further flight following due to traffic. Jack
as we get closer to it. But we'll just have to keep our eye on that as we fly to Lakeland. We're currently about
And number 8 Charlie November, I'm going to work you for another
192 miles out from Lakeland. So we're over an hour out from Lakeland, which is where most of this stuff is heading right now. But of course, the system is moving to the southeast over time. Anyway, like I said, it's going to be a fun flight. We are doing this flight at the end of the Bonanzas to Oshkosh, Florida Formation Clinic weekend.
And at some point, he wants to bring me back in trail. He's going to do this.
Take the yoke, and I'm just going to purpose it up and down so that people behind me can see the elevator going up and down.
And it actually was more like a quarter of a weekend or a third of a weekend because we had to cut all of our activities short Saturday afternoon. So it was a Thursday through Sunday thing. I couldn't show on Thursday because I have a life, you know, like a day job, things like that. And I had done B2 Osh before, and so I had the luxury of playing hooky for one day. I showed up on Friday, did about 5 sorties, which is what's required of pilots who want to fly in the Bonanzas to Oshkosh formation. The largest, by the way, the largest civilian formation of the same type of aircraft. So 2018, I believe, maybe it was 2019, we had 150 Bonanzas fly in formation. It was 2018, because 2019 didn't go so well. And in fact, we did not fly in 2018 all the way to Oshkosh. We departed Rockford and we diverted the Fond du Lac due to weather halfway there. Anyway, if you want to fly in this formation, you have to train, and there are regional clinics, and we didn't have one in Florida until 2018. That was the first time we had one here, so it became much more accessible to those of us who were based down here in the Sunshine State. I took this plane because I had to drop the owner off on Friday night in Fort Lauderdale, so at the end of a day of formation flying, I dropped him off and then overnighted there and flew right back up to Lake City again. And actually had a chance to record one of our sorties. And I want to show you some video of that. Flew alongside Ted Nixon, who's a UPS 747 pilot. And Ted humorously calls 767s like twins. So had a great time getting to know him. And he took some terrific video of this plane, 117 Echo Charlie, flying in formation. We were doing, we did a number of 2 ships. Anyway, this aircraft had been giving me some issues prior to the formation clinic, where if you put the gear, well, let me get to that in a second. First of all, I thought this was great. We taxied out for departure of Lake City, and there was a King Air who was on like a 2-mile final, and I called and I said, you know, we're going to be departing runway 28, and we're going to be headed due west for some formation flying. It was Foxtrot Flight up 2. I was the lead. And the guy in the King Air goes, hey, don't you have a YouTube channel? And I said, well, yes, I do have a YouTube channel. I do indeed. Do you watch? Indeed. I love it, thank you. Anyway, a bunch of guys, I think, were listening to the Unicom frequency in the FBO, and so they got on, and they started making these practical jokes.
That would be a Troy fanboy. Fangirling. They'll be here for autographs later. Right after the book signing.
I do have a YouTube channel, just so everybody is clear. Anyway, thank you, King Air Pilot, if you happen to be watching this YouTube channel. Thank you for the shout out, and boy, I would love to ride with you in that King Air one day and produce a video to put on my YouTube channel. Wouldn't that be cool? Anyway, so we continued with the formation flight, and wouldn't you know it, on climb out, a problem I'd been having for about a week or so before the clinic manifested itself again. When I put the gear lever in the up position, on occasion, the gear doesn't go up. It just doesn't go up.
Go gear up.
Pull the breaker for me. Breaker's pulled. And so that's what happened in this case. The gear would not go up. And so, actually this was the second time it had happened that day. The first time we called knock it off. This time I briefed, if the gear doesn't go up, keep your eyes on me.
Oh, your footsies are stuck down again.
Pull the breaker for me.
Breaker's pulled.
Yeah, just give me 1 second, we'll see if I can troubleshoot it here.
About halfway through, there was a first click, and then at the end, there was a second click.
Manual gear trick?
Yeah, well, I just turned it about 3 turns, and we re-engaged the breaker. It's not doing anything, but let me pitch up like I did last time, and we'll see if we can solve it that way.
Okay, you're clear.
I'm going to climb at a higher pitch, lower airspeed, to see if I can get the gear up that way. aerodynamically.
All right, what's your speed right now?
Hold on, folks.
About 94.
Yeah, about 90.
90 knots, okay.
And so anyway, that was, you know, we called off the sortie because you can't very well fly formation with your gear down like that, stuck down.
We're going to give that airplane that nickname, you know.
Yeah, just don't give me the nickname.
Just the airplane.
Yeah, it's not my plane anyway. And we tried everything. I mean, I pulled the breaker. Greg Stratz chunks suggested, well, it might be a bad spot on the armature of the gear motor. And so what I did was, I followed his advice. I pulled the breaker, and I cranked the gear up 3 turns. You're not supposed to crank it up, certainly not all the way, but 3 turns isn't going to hurt it. Cranked it up manually 3 turns. And then with the gear handle still in the up position, we re-engaged the breaker. Nothing happened. Anyway, that was a complete bust. On the ground, the guys nicknamed this plane Cialis. Like Cialis, like the erectile dysfunction drug, because the gear wouldn't go up. It would not get it up. So, you know,
Charlie, contact Jacksonville Center 127.8. Have a good night.
27.8, you as well, 7 Echo Charlie.
you know, a lot of formation pilots have nicknames. I've got one, Diver. I'm not going to go into why my nickname is Diver, but my nickname is Diver. Anyway, this plane got a nickname, probably a first in the history of formation flying.
427 Whiskey Alpha, contact Tittle approach 125.2.
Anyway, the story continues.
Contact Center 128.05. 28.
Because later on that day, as I was preparing to head back to Tallahassee to pick up Neil, the owner of the plane, and his family, to take them to Fort Lauderdale, these guys are happy to see this airplane fly away.
Yeah. The good old Cialis.
We're climbing out of Lake City.
93806, set to maintain
I put the gear lever in the up position, and what happens right on cue?
level 190.
The gear goes up. Ladies and gentlemen, the gear just went up. So we have proven one thing, that when the pressure is not on, the gear in Cialis goes up.
Yeah. Can't perform in front of a crowd.
Anyway, Formation Clinic 2021 is in the books, and looking forward to a fun Bonanzas to Oshkosh in July, kind of like the highlight of the year for most of us Bonanza Baron flyers, where we all get together in Rockford and we fly formation to the world's
562,
greatest aviation celebration.
Giant 3806, setting a hold over, having a 2220 Zulu. Giant 3806, roger, you won't be there that long. Delta 2011, contact Jack Center 128.05. 2805, Delta 2011, see you. Delta 2196, descend to maintain flight level 230.
Set 230, Delta 2196.
Number 17 Echo Charlie, I have a amendment to your routing advisor, ready to copy.
Yeah, ready to copy, 7 Echo Charlie.
Number 117 Echo Charlie, clear directly to NITS intersection. That's November, India, Tango, Sierra, NITTS. Then directly to Kavar. Charlie, Alpha, Victor, Alpha, Romeo. NITS, Kavar, Victor 511, rest of route unchanged.
Okay, direct NITS, direct Kavar, Victor 511, rest of route unchanged, 7 Echo Charlie. Well, folks, I think this is going to work out. We're about 20 miles now to the northwest of Lakeland. And you can see that beginning at about our 11 to 12 o'clock, we've got a fairly dark area on the horizon here, but just to the left, it's a little bit more crisp. And that agrees with the radar depiction here on the ADSB. By the way, ADSB will also tell you if there's a convective segment in effect, and in fact there is one. In effect, right. It's a convective segment 48 Echo, and right in this area that we're going to be flying through. So there is, in fact, an area of convection there. but a little left deviation, I think it's going to put us in pretty good shape.
Between Lakeland and Sarasota. I'll get the ride report for you in just a moment. Much appreciated. 0 November Juliet.
And we'll see how bad it gets here in the next maybe 5 miles. And if we're not given a deviation, well, I'm going to go ahead and request one.
6000, Southwest 924.
And up approach Bonanza 117, Echo Charlie. Any chance for about a 20-degree left deviation?
Number 117, Echo Charlie, affirmative, 20 degrees left deviation approved.
20 left approved. Thank you, 7 Echo Charlie. All right, we're going to deviate a little bit here. Not liking what I'm seeing. Not liking what I'm seeing nor feeling, so we'll do that. See what we get here.
November Juliet, Roger, the best I can give you now is 10,000.
We'll take that. 0 November Juliet.
Right, heading 310.
0 exit jet 406.
And exit jet 406, send and maintain 5,000.
Send 5,000, exit jet 406.
Oh, ride 'em, cowboy.
And medevac 335 Romeo Charlie for the sequence, turn 10 degrees left.
10 minutes, 5 Romeo Charlie.
Red Lake 566, descend and maintain 6,000.
6,000, Red Lake 566.
Exit jet 406, turn right heading 010.
Right turn 010, exit jet 40.
It's 550 November Juliet. We need to turn and go to BK Spring Hill.
Number 550 November Juliet, Roger, turn right heading 270.
Right 270.
Exit jet 406, you can contact final 118.5.
18.5, exit jet 406.
Medevac 335 Romeo Charlie, reduce speed to 190 for me.
190 on speed, 5 Romeo Charlie.
JetBlue 741 is with you at 13,000.
JetBlue 741, Tampa approach, Roger, plan on the visual approach. Let's see, they're advertising the LS runway 14, Sarah.
Well, it looks as though we're through the worst of the weather on the trip down to Fort Lauderdale. There's some lot of stuff off to our west right now, off our right wing, and we've essentially deviated around the extreme eastern side of that weather that when we left Quincy was just to the west of Tampa Bay. And in fact, we are inside the MacDill Auxiliary Field Restricted Airspace right now. We're IFR, so we can do that. And we did have to deviate about 30 degrees left. It got pretty bumpy at times there, and I picked up at one point, and I wish I had gotten a picture of it, about a 61 knot tailwind. So we were doing 211, 212 over the ground, which for an 836 Bonanza is pretty fast.
November 1 Tango X-ray 22 is your final.
Let you go to 26.
Nah, it's not gonna happen right now.
Okay.
Not gonna happen right now. Not gonna do it.
116, we're right in the top.
Not gonna do it. Not gonna clear you to 26,000. Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture. And no Arkansas governor is gonna beat me. My George H.W. Bush impression. If only George H.W. Bush were an air traffic controller, huh? You're cleared to the Fort Lauderdale Airport via as filed. Gonna be Cavu all the way down there. Read my lips.
210 the speed.
No IFR clearance.
Alright, United 29, I was told moderate turbulence all the way into the airfield.
Thank you, United 29.
Alright, FedEx 562, I got some additional traffic that just popped up. Go ahead, I need a good rate all the way down to 11,000, please.
I've approached Bonanza 117, Echo Charlie, level 4000 with X-ray.
November 117 Echo Charlie, Miami approach, expect runway 9, descend and maintain 3000, direct Denver.
Okay, down to 3000. Can you give me the phonetics on that waypoint?
Affirmative. It's Echo, November, Victor, Echo, Romeo.
Okay, direct Denver. Thank you, 7 Echo Charlie. Never heard of that one before.
Uniquely 14-4 Lima Juliet with you, 5.5 down to 4.
Denver. All right, we're going to Denver.
Echo Charlie, you have the Learjet in sight. It's 12 o'clock in 3 miles.
Affirmative, 7 Echo Charlie.
7 Echo Charlie and all traffic clear visual approach, runway 9er and caution way turbulence. Contact executive tower 120.9er.
Clear visual, runway 9er and over to tower, 7 Echo Charlie. Okay, now we're on visual. Great. One thing after another with this guy. Executive tower, Bonanza 117 Echo Charlie on a visual runway 9er.
Bonanza 117 Echo Charlie, exhaust your number 3 for the fuel, following a Legion on a 4-mile final. Runway 9, clear to land.
Runway 9er clear to land, 7 Echo Charlie.
Wind 0406. Honda 6 Juliet Tango, contact my departure.
Good departure, 6 Juliet Tango, good day.
Good day.
Exec Tower, Hopperjet 699.
Hopperjet 699, executive tower.
Sir, do you think it would make any difference if we refiled, taking the arcs or the Thunder transition, and then going north from there?
699, I'm showing all of the departure routes open. You ready to taxi?
Yes, absolutely. We've been waiting for 3 hours to taxi.
Oh boy. That didn't sound good.
1 November X, I'm going to have to extend you for another 7 miles. You're following a Challenger on a 10-mile final.
Alright, so we're extending 1 November X-ray.
So Tower, can you confirm that Hopperjet 699, we can start engines and taxi anytime?
Affirmative, sir.
Still be making Bravo here.
699, just confirm that you have information, Yankee. November 465, begin the right turn to the southwest, remain clear of Charlie, contact Miami departure.
Turning right, clear of Charlie and going to departure. Thank you, 61465.
You're welcome. Bonanza, I'm November 416 Golf Papa, fly heading 090, Roman 9, clear for takeoff, citation on a 3-mile final, Lauderdale.
And position and hold 416 Golf Papa.
6 Golf Papa, negative. Clear for takeoff, fly heading 090.
090, clear for takeoff, 416 Golf Papa.
Oh boy.
November 7 Echo Charlie, where do you park?
Going to W Aviation on the northwest side.
7 Echo Charlie, taxi via Bravo Foxtrot, Foxtrot 2.
Bravo Foxtrot 2 will stay with you, 7 Echo Charlie.
Affirmative.
Tower 970 Delta Bravo.
Well, folks, welcome to Fort Lauderdale, where the local time is 8:09.
Turn base 1 November X-ray.
Tacoma 88, you with me?
Yeah, just checking in. We're on the ILS, slow down as much as we can.
Tacoma 88, roger, your number 2 for the field citation, 2-mile final, runway 9, clear to land.
We had a couple of deviations,
Runway 9, Tacoma 88.
but nothing too dramatic. And by the way, this is, hey, look at this, here we go. Here's the JM Family Group hangar, where our good friend Jeff Bohm works. I've had a tour of that hangar. There's one of his beautiful Challenger jets right there. Anyway, we're going to park at W Aviation, my favorite FBO. Thanks to Giuseppe, by the way, a couple of days ago for helping me tighten my landing light. My landing light? My taxi light. It was a good sport to do that. Anyway, a couple deviations, but hey, we made it, folks. And we learned a few things along the way. So thanks for flying, 117 Echo Charlie, the Beechcraft Bonanza, and we'll see you next time. Happy tailwinds, everybody.
Lauderdale 62808 Whiskey Instruments to BDK. For Lauderdale 62808 Whiskey Instruments to BDK.
Is it still again?
62808 Whiskey has X-ray instruments to Papa Delta Kilo.